Hello, I will be giving you an informative speech on the country of the Dominican Republic. I will be informing you on the population, other statistics, as well as the history, culture, tourism, and much more. The Dominican Republic is a nation on the island of Hispaniola, part of the Greater Antilles in the Caribbean region. The western third of the island is occupied by the nation of Haiti, making Hispaniola one of the two Caribbean islands that's occupied by two countries. Both by area and population, the Dominican Republic is the second largest Caribbean nation after Cuba, with 18,704 square miles and an estimated over 10 million people in the population. The history of Hispaniola and the Dominican Republic is full of conflict and struggle, from the first Spanish occupation to the present day. The first inhabitants of Hispaniola were the Taínos. Taínos called the island Quisqueya, meaning the mother of the earth, as well as Haiti and Haiti and Bohio. Within a few years following the arrival of Christopher Columbus and the Europeans, the population of the Taínos began to decline drastically. This was due to the changes in lifestyle, as well as smallpox and other diseases that were brought in by the Europeans. Intermarriage and enslavement were also causes. By 1711, Taínos were down to a population of just 21,000. The Spanish ruled thereafter. Christopher Columbus was buried in Santo Domingo after following his death in 1506. A beautiful monument was made for Columbus named El Faro a Colón, which illuminates a cross into the sky every night. Many years later, in the 1930s, the Dominicans endured a horrible dictatorship under Rafael Leonidas Trujillo Molina. Trujillo stood for election himself. He was elected president virtually unopposed. This was caused because of a campaign of violence, which he eliminated all his opponents, all his strongest opponents. He ran his country by absolute repression and the profuse use of murder, torture, and different terrorist methods against anyone who opposed him. Trujillo was assassinated on May 30th, 1961, in Santo Domingo. It has been assumed that the CIA arranged, planned, and executed the assassination. Even after Trujillo, there was still much corruption in the Dominican government. Juan Bosch, who until this day is remembered as an honest politician and a wonderful writer, was overthrown during his term as president by the military and exiled to Puerto Rico. Presently, the corruption is not as bad as it was back then. President Leonel Fernandez is doing a great job in the Dominican Republic, serving his third term in office. The Dominican culture comes from many different complex heritages. The people and their customs have origins in a unique mix of African, Taino, and Spaniard roots. The Dominican Republic has become the Caribbean's largest tourist destination due to the country's year-long golf courses, which are among the top attractions in the world. The Dominican Republic has became a nation of independence on the 27th of February 1984, when a group of revolutionaries seized power from the Haitian rulers of the island of Hispaniola. When Christopher Columbus first discovered the island in 1492, he named the island La Isla de Española, which later became just Hispaniola. The complex heritage of the Arawak, Spanish, African, and French tradition, plus an early independence, set the Dominican Republic apart from other Caribbean islands. There are many festivals and carnivals that take place all over the country that exude all these different heritage, as well as costume and dances. The Dominicans consider themselves more Latin American than they do Caribbean. In addition, they retain close ties with the United States, which occupied the island in the early 20th century. Dominicans are really into their music, which include merengue, perico ripiao, which is the oldest style of merengue, which dates back all the way to the 1850s and is still performed today. Also bachata and palo, which is an Afro-Dominican sacred kind of music. As much as Dominicans love their music, they love to drink. The national beer is Presidente, which means president, but it's called Presidente, And the national drink is rum, which include the three B's: Brugal, Bermudez, and Barcelo. Dominican rum is always gives more importance to the smoothness of the drink. Then we have Mama Juana, which I have right here. Mama Juana is a bottle. It is a bottle of a mixture of rum and red wine, which is soaked into a bottle of tree bark and herbs. It is a Dominican, let's say, is viewed as public to the public as a drink that has similar effects to Viagra, and women have also claimed that Mama Juana enhances sexual desire. Say, it doesn't taste that bad either. It's pretty good. The cuisine of the Dominican Republic is predominantly made up of the combination of Spanish, Taino, and African influences. We have here something that the Dominicans use very much. It's made out of it's green plantain. We use this pretty much for everything: breakfast, lunch, dinner. We eat it a lot. The dishes include mofongo, a dish made from fried plátanos, and yuca, mangú, pasteles, sancocho are also other Dominican dishes. Dominican natural drinks include different shakes. One that I personally love the most, Mori Soñando, which is called Die Dreaming, don't ask why, and Mavi, which just to name a few. Most of Dominican drinks are natural juices, natural fruit juices and mixes. With so much food talk, we didn't even get to the main attraction of the Dominican Republic, which are their beaches. DR is a beautiful island with wonderful beaches and weather. Famous cities with beautiful resorts that include Punta Cana, which is in the northern part, Bávaro towards the west, and Samaná towards the south. Dominicans are known for their beaches, but also for the talent that grows in this small country, especially with baseball. Just to name a few: Pedro Martinez, Albert Pujols, Alex Rodriguez, and David Ortiz are all great baseball players and all from Dominican descent. There are also many famous musicians, artists, and fashion designers that come from the Dominican Republic. As someone like myself of Dominican descent, I am honored to have gave you this informative speech about my country. We discussed a great amount of history, culture, and even some food and alcohol, and also the music. If you ever believe you need a vacation or to get away, please look into the Dominican Republic. You won't regret the experience. Thank you.